I think I have to go my own way.
The fuck, dude? We've been here doing this for 14 years.
The last 5 felt like 20.
Richard Rawlings, the energetic host of Fast and Loud, once dominated automotive reality television with his confident personality and successful garage business that captivated millions of viewers worldwide. However, the once thriving Gas Monkey Garage has now fallen silent, with Rawlings seemingly disappearing from the spotlight without fanfare or explanation, leaving fans and industry insiders wondering what happened to one of television's most recognizable automotive personalities. Before television fame transformed him into a household name, Rawlings built his reputation through various careers, including firefighting and law enforcement, experiences that would later contribute to his fearless approach to business and his ability to handle high-pressure situations. Born and raised in Fort Worth, Texas, his automotive passion was ignited by his father, who introduced him to car shows and hands-on mechanical work during weekend trips to local automotive events and swap meets that dotted the Texas landscape. At just 14 years old, Rawlings purchased his first vehicle, a modest project car that required extensive work but represented his first real connection to the automotive world. This early purchase established the groundwork for his future endeavors and demonstrated the risk-taking mentality that would define his entire career. The teenage Rawlings spent countless hours learning the intricacies of engines, transmissions, and bodywork, developing skills that would prove invaluable decades later. Despite pursuing different career paths throughout his 20s and 30s, including stints in emergency services that taught him discipline and crisis management, Rawlings maintained his automotive dreams throughout various jobs and career changes, always keeping his vision of working with cars alive. He collected vehicles during these years, buying and selling classics as a side business while developing his eye for valuable automotive diamonds in the rough. The entrepreneurial spirit that would later make him famous was evident even in these early years, as friends and colleagues remember Rawlings constantly talking about opening his own garage and building something bigger than just another repair shop. He envisioned a place where automotive artistry would meet business savvy, creating a brand that could transcend traditional garage boundaries. Gas Monkey Garage opened its doors in 2002 as a modest operation housed in a small Dallas facility, far from the polished television production it would eventually become. The name itself reflected Rawlings's playful yet rebellious approach to business, a combination of speed, gas, and mischief, monkey, that perfectly captured his personality and approach to automotive culture. Rawlings invested everything into the early years, exhausting credit cards and working tirelessly while taking significant financial risks on vehicles others had dismissed as worthless. His strategy was deceptively simple: buy low, restore with style, and sell high. However, execution proved far more challenging than the concept. Early projects often took longer than anticipated. Costs frequently exceeded budgets, and finding skilled mechanics willing to work for a startup garage proved difficult. The financial pressure during these foundational years was immense. Rawlings mortgaged his personal assets, borrowed against future earnings, and operated on razor-thin margins that left little room for error. Many nights found him sleeping at the garage, working on vehicles until dawn, before handling business operations during regular hours. This period of struggle, while exhausting, taught him valuable lessons about cost control, project management, and the importance of building a reliable team. His strategy gradually succeeded, earning recognition in Dallas automotive circles for high-quality restorations with a unique Gas Monkey style that combined traditional craftsmanship with modern flair. The garage developed a reputation for taking on challenging projects that other shops avoided, particularly vehicles with extensive rust damage or missing components that required creative solutions and extensive fabrication work. Word-of-mouth referrals began generating steady business, and Rawlings started building relationships with collectors, dealers, and automotive enthusiasts across Texas and beyond. His networking skills, honed during his previous careers, proved invaluable in establishing the connections that would sustain the business through its early growth phase. The real transformation began when Discovery Channel producers discovered Rawlings's dynamic personality and talent for finding automotive gems during a routine scouting mission for new programming content, leading to the show's launch a decade after the garage's establishment. The producers were immediately struck by Rawlings's natural charisma and his ability to tell compelling stories about the vehicles he restored. Fast and Loud premiered in 2012 and immediately transformed Rawlings from a local business owner into a national celebrity whose influence extended far beyond the automotive community. With his distinctive appearance, signature drinks, and sharp negotiation abilities, Rawlings brought fresh, unfiltered enthusiasm to automotive television programming that had previously been dominated by more traditional, technical approaches. The show's concept was straightforward. Locate deteriorated classic cars, restore them with style, and sell them for profit while documenting the entire process for viewers. However, the real appeal came from the dynamic relationship between Rawlings and master mechanic Aaron Kaufman, whose contrasting personalities, Rawlings as the enthusiastic businessman and Kaufman as the meticulous craftsman, created compelling television that kept audiences engaged week after week. Rawlings's on-screen persona was larger than life, combining genuine automotive knowledge with showmanship that made complex restoration processes accessible to casual viewers. His ability to spot potential in rusted hulks impressed even experienced collectors, while his negotiation scenes provided entertainment value that appealed to audiences beyond traditional car enthusiasts. The program's genuine approach distinguished it from other automotive shows that relied heavily on scripted scenarios and predetermined outcomes. Viewers witnessed authentic excitement as Rawlings searched forgotten barns and dusty garages across America, discovering neglected classics that others had abandoned to the elements. These discoveries were legitimate finds, particularly in early seasons, as Rawlings possessed a real talent for recognizing potential in seemingly worthless vehicles that others dismissed as scrap metal. The show's production values elevated automotive television to new heights, with high-quality cinematography that captured both the gritty reality of restoration work and the beauty of completed projects. Time-lapse sequences showing transformations from rust bucket to showpiece became signature elements that viewers eagerly anticipated. For 8 successful seasons, Rawlings dominated his field, with the show consistently ranking among Discovery's top-rated programs and generating international syndication deals that expanded his influence globally. He demonstrated remarkable business sense by expanding beyond traditional garage operations, recognizing that his television success had created opportunities in entirely different markets. Gas Monkey Bar and Grill opened in Dallas as the first major expansion, providing fans with lifestyle experiences including live music, motorcycle demonstrations, and themed menu items that allowed visitors to immerse themselves in the Gas Monkey culture. The restaurant became a pilgrimage destination for automotive enthusiasts, featuring memorabilia from the show and regular appearances by Rawlings himself. The merchandise empire grew exponentially, with the iconic monkey logo appearing on various products, from clothing and accessories to automotive tools and garage equipment. Gas Monkey energy beverages reached national distribution through major retail chains, competing directly with established brands, while capitalizing on Rawlings's television fame and the association with high-octane automotive culture. Licensing agreements expanded the brand internationally, with Gas Monkey branded products appearing in markets across Europe, Asia, and Australia, transforming a Dallas garage into a worldwide enterprise that generated revenue streams far beyond traditional automotive restoration work. The brand's global reach demonstrated Rawlings's understanding of how television success could be leveraged into lasting business value. Industry observers praised Rawlings' ability to transcend typical reality television limitations that had trapped other personalities in narrow niches. While most shows in the genre experience brief popularity before declining into obscurity, Fast and Loud initially seemed immune to this pattern, maintaining strong ratings and cultural relevance year after year. Rawlings became more than a television personality. He represented a lifestyle and served as a modern ambassador for American muscle car culture, inspiring countless enthusiasts to pursue their own automotive dreams and legitimizing garage culture in mainstream media. His influence extended to automotive events, where his appearances drew massive crowds and commanded premium speaking fees. The first significant issue emerged with Aaron Kaufman's unexpected departure in 2017, surprising both fans and industry professionals who had viewed the partnership as the show's unshakable foundation. Kaufman wasn't merely a mechanic, he was the show's heart, the skilled professional who balanced Rawlings's bold personality with technical expertise and attention to detail that ensured project quality. His exit revealed growing tensions from demanding filming schedules and artificial drama requirements that had gradually transformed the show from genuine restoration documentation into manufactured entertainment. The pressure to produce content on television timelines conflicted with the realities of quality automotive work, creating stress that ultimately proved unsustainable. Kaufman later revealed in interviews the pressure to complete vehicle restorations much faster than quality work required, exposing how the show prioritized deadlines and entertainment over proper craftsmanship. Vehicles that should have required months of careful restoration were being rushed through the process in weeks to meet filming schedules, compromising the very standards that had originally made Gas Monkey Garage's reputation. This admission disappointed dedicated fans who had believed in the show's authenticity, feeling betrayed by the revelation that entertainment value had superseded genuine restoration work. Online forums and social media exploded with discussions about the show's declining quality and the pressure that television production placed on what had originally been presented as authentic craftsmanship. The departure also highlighted broader issues within reality television production, where the demands of creating compelling content often conflict with the authentic processes being documented. Kaufman's exit became a symbol of these tensions and marked the beginning of the show's decline in both quality and viewer loyalty. Without Kaufman, Fast and Loud lost its essential dynamic that had made it compelling television for millions of viewers. The chemistry that defined the program disappeared, creating a void that replacement mechanics, despite their individual talents and experience, couldn't fill. The show attempted to introduce new personalities, but none possessed the natural on-screen presence or the established relationship with Rawlings that had made the original formula successful. Ratings began declining steadily, and fan discussions increasingly criticized the show's changing direction, with longtime viewers expressing disappointment at the loss of technical depth and authentic restoration processes. The show's online presence, once dominated by enthusiastic fan engagement, became filled with complaints about declining quality and requests for Kaufman's return. What had once appeared as authentic insight into high-end automotive restoration now felt like manufactured reality television, complete with artificially created conflicts and staged dramatic moments that insulted viewers' intelligence. Rawlings found himself caught between Discovery's demands for dramatic entertainment and his desire to maintain authenticity to his automotive roots. Former employees began sharing concerns about working conditions, describing exhausting schedules that prioritized filming over quality work, with vehicles rushed through restoration to meet artificial television deadlines. The workplace culture increasingly emphasized drama over craftsmanship, creating an environment where skilled mechanics felt undervalued and overworked. These revelations damaged the show's reputation further, as viewers began questioning not just the current content, but also the authenticity of earlier seasons they had previously trusted. The magic that had originally made Fast and Loud special, the genuine passion for automotive restoration, seemed to have been sacrificed for the demands of television production. The pandemic provided Rawlings with an unexpected break from the relentless pace he had endured for years, offering time for reflection that had been impossible during the constant demands of production schedules. For the first time since the show began, he could step back and evaluate what Fast and Loud had become compared to his original vision of sharing authentic automotive passion with viewers. When filming resumed with new safety protocols and industry restrictions, something fundamental had changed in Rawlings's approach and enthusiasm. The original magic was gone, replaced by mechanical routines that felt increasingly empty and disconnected from the automotive passion that had originally driven him to television success. Discovery executives maintained their established formula, demanding the same high-energy drama that had previously delivered ratings and advertising revenue. Rawlings, however, sought reinvention and a return to authentic car culture that had originally inspired him, creating an irreconcilable conflict between creative vision and commercial demands. The conflict was inevitable, given these opposing directions. Without warning or ceremony, Fast and Loud disappeared from television schedules, ending not with the dramatic finale that such a successful show might have warranted, but with a quiet conclusion that left fans confused and disappointed. No series finale or emotional conclusion, just a quiet ending that reflected the exhaustion and disillusionment that had been building for years. For Rawlings, the show's end represented liberation rather than defeat, offering freedom from the constraints and pressures that had gradually transformed his passion into a performance obligation. Burned out and constrained by his own success, he shifted focus to YouTube content, where he could control the narrative, merchandise that didn't require network approval, and live events allowing direct fan connection without television production interference. He began exploring new ventures and opportunities beyond the automotive world that had defined him for over a decade, determined to prove there was life beyond Fast and Loud, and that his business acumen extended beyond television success. These ventures included real estate investments, consulting work, and partnerships with automotive companies seeking his expertise in marketing and brand development. However, freedom brought its own challenges that success hadn't prepared him for. Regardless of his new directions, Fast and Loud's shadow followed him everywhere he went. Every interview returned to questions about the show. Every public appearance drew fans hoping for revival news. And every new venture was inevitably compared to his television success. The Richard Rawlings the world knew, the fast-talking, risk-taking television star, became a role he could never completely abandon, even as he attempted to evolve beyond it. Like actors forever associated with breakthrough characters, Rawlings discovered that success had typecast him in public perception, making it difficult to establish credibility in new endeavors. Rawlings built an empire that transformed automotive television and inspired countless enthusiasts, but that empire also constructed walls around him through expectations and assumptions that proved difficult to overcome. His exit wasn't dramatic. It was a quiet, deliberate step away from a spotlight that had both illuminated his talents and confined his possibilities. His journey from garage owner to television star and back represents both personal narrative and cautionary tale about reality television fame's double-edged nature.